Hello, everybody. Okay, so today's discussion is going to be, of course, about women having issues having sex and the motivation, not feeling it, and men that you might not think this is a conversation for you, but it is. It's more for you than it is for the woman, okay? And there's some things that, of course, a woman needs to do as well. I'm not going to just put it off on the man, but let me just explain that it is for you to help maintain. So the first thing I'm always going to go ahead and say is you have to foreplay before foreplay. So I don't know how to say, you want to call it three play, two play. You got to do the foreplay throughout the day. Help around the house, send love texts on through emails. Text her things, send her a picture, write on that romantic letter, tell her throughout the day that you're thinking about her. Those are great things to step forward in that. And it's also things that help build intimacy. I had to go back to intimacy. You knew I had to go back to intimacy. I'm always talking about intimacy, so you knew I had to do it. But you want to make sure these are things that you have in there, because sometimes a woman's body, she gains weight, she loses weight, she feels depressed about the way she looks. She looks at herself and she doesn't see herself being that vibrant woman that she was before. So that's a turn on. So you have to sometimes not even say nothing, but give her that look like you the best thing in my life. I'm so blessed to have you. Because sometimes we're just self-centered. You got to also think about us getting older, and there's hormone issues that we have that can mess it up. Medicine can mess up our libido, all these different things that can mess up. It's the same things that can mess you up as the same things that can mess us up. But the difference is we are emotionally tied to what goes downstairs. Now, some women ain't, or some women get it later, but usually we are tied to it. And if a woman's not used to being tied to it, or not knowing that she's tied to it, this is probably brand new to her as well, and shocking. Also, you don't want to let too many days go past without it, because then we get trained that's when we're going to have it every 2 or 3 days, every 4 or 5 days. Then our body's trained that way. So then it cuts you down to a thing. So you always need to figure out how to spice it up. Should I do some house chores and give her bath water? She take a bath, and then, I make it, really romantic and beautiful and sexual and stuff like that. Give her those nice, pat on the butt or whatever she likes. Don't do things she don't like. But you've been with her. You should know something about her. If you don't know something about her, then you really ain't got no intimacy. So that's the best way I can say. You know what kind of things to help her with. If you guys are always in a lot of arguments, stress, all those things can stop the libido for a woman. And when she is not ready, nothing goes on. It's totally different from a man. A man can be mad and you go down there and play with it. It just rises to the occasion. But I heard there's some men that don't. But I'm just saying, the majority of them, they just rise to the occasion. Well, a woman, she ain't flooding to the occasion. She just ain't gonna have a flood. You can put the lubricant in there, and the stuff down there will dry it up. Like, you be putting the water all in there trying to get it to be moist, and it just won't. That's just how women are made. We have that stability in that area, okay? So what you want to do is you want to, again, step forward and help around the house, help with the kids, help with this. Send her love text messages, send her a note, call her and just say, baby, I just wanted to hear your voice. You just sound so beautiful and sexy. I can't wait till you come home tonight. Matter of fact, I'm going to cook you dinner. Those are things that be like, well, things that would excite her. Don't send her flowers if she don't like flowers. But, you can find other things that you could do that she might like, Just pay attention and focus and be more attached. Having communication with her other than sex and kids and work is a great way to do it, too. Like I said, you just have to go back to your intimacy thing. Trying something new, be touchy-feely, love, listen, communicate, know how to argue correctly. All those things will build up to this moment right here. And I would say intimacy is not sex, but it does make sex better, and this will help it make better. So you want to remember all this stuff. This medication, you guys need to find out how you can counteract it. Not counteract the work of the medication, but counteract making her feel better. Like maybe making sure she has 2 tablespoons of oil throughout the day. Maybe she gets that sea moss gel and put it in a smoothie. You make her fresh smoothie so she can start the day off. And when you put the fresh smoothie in there, put 2 tablespoons of the oil in there, olive oil, coconut oil, all those type of grapeseed oil in there. And she drinks that, and that will start helping, and talking sweet nothings. Do those extra foreplay, because that will also kick in. So you got all those things in there, and that's kicking in. Then you got this, and that's kicking in. You be like, oh, when you get home, you might not even get to, come at her. She might rape you at the door. Kids be knocked out. She done gave them some melatonin and knocked them out. And now you have it. So remember that in a relationship. It's like, yes, we might have lost the fire, but it doesn't mean the fire had to go out. It just went down, and we just have to figure out how to bring the flames back out. Like when you do the grill or your fireplace and the flames start going down and you get the lighter fluid. Everything I'm telling you right now is your lighter fluid. Let that be the lighter fluid that get those flames all over the place, and you will be so much happier. Now, if there's a medical issue, go to the doctors, find out what the medical issue is. But usually is that we're not getting our 2 tablespoons of oil. Sea moss has a 92 minerals for our body that's supposed to be in our body out of the 102. So you put that oil and that sea moss gel in there, and you make a nice smoothie. One, she's happy you made her smoothie. Two, you done helped her out. These are things that is helpful and great. And then when you talk to her and let her know, tell her she's beautiful, and always make her feel secure in a relationship. Because sometimes I said too, we don't feel secure. We either go to the extreme and we're too needy, or we distance ourselves because we're ready for the fall. So those are things that you want to think about. I know this is a lot of information. It is, so write it down. Write this information down, because it's important information. Just because you're up and ready doesn't mean she will be. And understand, sometimes when you feel like you're not getting enough, you feel like she doesn't love you. So just think how her body it does it different. Her body's like, I'm clanking because he's not going to use me or dog me or disrespect me or anything like that. And we have that in our mind. And sometimes we can make up illusions in ourselves that we didn't even know, because we feel this way. Like, if you every day gave a woman a kiss goodbye, and then one day you missed that kiss goodbye, even though it didn't seem like it mattered to her or it got on her nerve, when you miss that one day, she feel like you don't love her no more, you cheating on her, something. It's going to click like, did he leave this house and didn't give me a kiss? It's like this new found anger, and now we're mad, and it can shut us down. And I'm giving that example because sometimes it's something so simple that it's like, I was just so in a rush that I left. But normally when you're in a rush and you leave, you give me a kiss. Normally, I don't normally have that problem. And he's like, but I didn't know that was going to be your problem. And he's like, but normally it isn't. You know what I mean? And that's the way we think. And that's the way we move. And that's the way we focus on things. And then we get mad when they don't happen. And then we like, what in the world happened? And the man is so confused and so lost. So I'm giving you a secret. Sometimes you've been doing something for a while and then you just stopped. And it wasn't a big deal. You just stopped. And it was a big deal. And then you're like, but you didn't say anything. And it's like, why should I? Why did you stop? I didn't tell you to stop, so why did you stop? And it gets so confusing, and then you get mad, and you're like, I don't care. You get frustrated. You don't want to do that, because that's not going to bring up the situation, and it's not going to make sex better in your relationship. So those are the one things. Other things is men. Women, this is something that you might not know, have a hard time having a vaginal orgasm. So learn to give her a vaginal orgasm. Learn those spots that are not easy to get. I know everybody know about the G-spot. Everybody know the clit. But there's an A spot that's hard to get to, and you got to do an angle, got to lift up a little, go down into it a little, like into the shaft a little, and give the A spot. And sometimes that will, if she used to be easy to get orgasm, and she's not, you need to hit that A spot. Because what happens is, hit that A spot a couple of times, it makes the walls more tender. So after she gets the A spot, she can have easier vaginal orgasm. But you got to constantly, once in a blue, hit that A spot a couple of times. At times that you have sex. So if you have sex, hit it a couple of times. And it's like, okay, I got to get you in this position. I'm going to have to really work this position. You got to. And it will tenderize the walls. They got Benoit balls that will tenderize the wall. So she puts them in and she walks throughout the day with these Benoit balls. And pretty soon it'll tenderize. If it's hard, it'll tenderize it. If it ain't too hard, then she's going to just be walking around with some multiple orgasms. But she's going to learn how to keep them balls in her, and those are really good things. I know this like, what conversation is this? But this is so true. So there's so many different things that can help a woman, and then you just have to be patient. And sometimes she's just not in the mood, and you should be able to get her in the mood. Do you know? I love how I switch conversations, but do you know there's spots on her body that is not sexual that you can do out in public that should be able to turn her on? But you need to know her body that well. So one day, when she ain't in the mood, start just playing around with her. Finding those spots. Make that a joy for you there. You just find those spots. And then you get her all hot and bothered by her spots that are not sexual that you could do them out and about in the real world. Shoot. You know, you might get raped. Just don't be calling the cops because you will in this moment. So anyway, if you have any other questions or any other concerns, these are things that people have just came up and talked to me about, and we have had this conversation, and I have helped them in these situations. And these are the main things that I tell anybody when they're having issues in that area to fix, and majority of people have been able to fix that area. Now there's some other areas we could go on, but this is the one that I wanted to talk to you about now, so you can already know. And don't forget to remember to love and live each day as if it were your last. Smooches.